once again, Olivia, you're back on Countdown, and we must talk about Xanadu because now it's sort of becoming a giant, especially on the charts. I mean, does that knock you out?
Oh, I'm so excited about the music because, I mean, it's nerve-wracking having a film come out anyway, but the music was a new thing as well, and the fact that we've had hits around the world with different songs is really fun. I'm really excited.
Well, take Magic being released in America for a start.
Yeah.
A lot of people in your camp and sort of like your management felt that perhaps Magic should have been released also in England, and yet it's #1 in England, #1 in Europe. It was Xanadu, so you've got a split sort of...
I know, that's never happened to me before, and I don't think I've ever had a hit record in England. I don't think I've had a solo #1 before.
What, in England itself?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I have to check, but it also made it in about 4 weeks, so I was in complete shock.
So at the moment, you've got the #1 hit in England with Xanadu, and in Europe, a #1 hit with Xanadu.
Yeah.
In America, you're the #1 hit with Magic. And in Australia, you've got Magic going up the charts and Don't Cry For Me Argentina, which is also going into the charts.
It's really tough at the moment.
Yes, it must be. Now, taking,
no, great. I'm really excited.
Taking the entire soundtrack before it was released, were you sort of apprehensive about how it would go on the charts, considering a lot of things have bombed as far as like soundtracks, etc.?
Definitely, it was no one had seen the movie, so the song was unrelated. But like the song is such a fantastic song. John Farrar is so brilliant. I mean, he amazes me every time he writes something. I love the song, and I felt good about it. But you just never know. It's like the movie. I'll keep my fingers crossed, but until the public see it, you just don't know.
Well, we're going to have a look at a small preview, if we may do that now, of the entire movie, some little different shots out of it. So let's sit back and have a look at that first.
All right.
All right.
Wild trombones, the band decked out in tuxedos. I won't take a backseat, ain't funny to fool with me. I'll be a bad loser, you get me mad, losing me.
Okay, well, we've, all Australian viewers have just seen part of the movie and bits and pieces of it that we saw a couple of months ago. It must have been a rather gruelling movie for you because you had to do so much in it. I mean, you're tap dancing, you know, dancing with Gene Kelly, all of that.
We did a lot because we actually filmed for like 3 months up until Christmas, then we took a break, and then we went back and reshot for another 5 weeks after Christmas. And the tap dancing really was something I'd taken up for fun just before the movie, and like a fool I said to them, well, why don't we do a tap number in the film?
Right.
Then I was stuck with it then. I had to perform, I was trembly knees.
Well, Gene Kelly, when he accepted the role, I believe, didn't want to have to dance in the film either.
No, in fact, when he started the movie, he said he wasn't going to touch a toe and he wasn't going to sing a note, and he ended up singing and doing a duet
Right.
with me, so.
Well, now, talking about the singing side of it, on the album, you do what I would say a duo with ELO, because you're sort of singing to their soundtrack, which Jeff Lynne wrote, which is, of course, Xanadu. You do an amazing number with the Tubes, where you actually do a vamp thing and do your own harmonies.
Yeah.
You do a duet with Cliff Richard, a duet with Gene Kelly, do a song of John's where John's singing harmonies, and you do Magic yourself. Now, I mean, that's pretty big in one album.
I know, it was the things that John wrote for me are just incredible. It's like all these songs fitted the period, like the 40s, 80s number,
Right.
which is how he put that together, I'll never know, but it was such an incredible concept.
Why did you knock back the part of Can't Stop the Music, the lead part? Sticky question?
No, it still holds true. I just had an instinct about it that it wasn't right for me. Alan told me that he had this project that he wanted me to do, and it sounded great, but when I read the script, it didn't feel right, and so I declined. And he wasn't too happy with me for a while, but you know, we're friends again, and it's all fine.
Right. Now let's just quickly get back to Xanadu. With the movie itself, it's very unusual, as you were saying before, for a movie not to be released, and yet the soundtrack is already way up in the charts, and you've got 2, or actually 3 hit singles, because ELO have got theirs with I'm Alive as well, but you've got 2 number ones. What next for Olivia Newton-John? I mean, what will be the next single, do you think? Will it be the Cliff Richard one, the Tubes one?
I think
or
it'll
what?
be the Cliff Richard,
Yeah?
Suddenly. I really love that song. I mean, that is really a special song.
Well, there you go. That was Olivia talking to us from New York on Tuesday, and I've got to say that we had to get her up out of bed because she'd just flown from LA, and it was 32 degrees Celsius, and it was pretty hot in New York, and we love her for doing it. And what she's talking about is the Xanadu Dance Contest, which is about to happen. And don't forget that on the 24th, Sunday, August the 24th, right across the country, we're having the grand final of the Xanadu Dance Contest, and Olivia is coming out and she's going to host it and also do Magic Live and, of course, Xanadu Live. So it should be a great night, and we're going to have all the state finalists coming in for the grand contest. So for the details, is Gavin over there? Gavin, are you right?
I certainly am, Molly.
Okay, Gavin, over to you.
All right, thanks, Molly. If you want to watch the state final for the Xanadu National Dance Contest, I'll give you the venues. If you live in Sydney, the venue is the Burwood Westfield Shopping Centre on August 15. In Melbourne, 3XY are holding their final at the Doncaster Inn on August 15. 4BK and Brisbane have Westfield Indooroopilly Shopping Town on August 14. Adelaide had their state final last night. What a screamer that was. And on the 15th of August, 6 p.m. present the West Australian final at Pinocchio's. The Tasmanian finals will be held at the Centrepoint Shopping Centre on August the 14th by 7HT. Now it's back to Molly with more Humdrum.
Well, I tell you what, Gavin, I've seen some of the Plim finals, and the dances are unbelievable. The tap dances, the disco dances, they're all... I don't know how they're ever going to come out with a winner on this one. Now, talking about Kiss, as you saw opening the show from New York at the start of the show, we've been receiving stacks of mail about Kiss, and this one is from Chris Menzies from Coolong, which is in Victoria, and she is complaining about the fact that there were no tickets allocated to the country areas, which is unfortunate, and I hope that some of the country people can come down. And Christine has made a very good point that there were no tickets allocated to country areas for Kiss concerts, tickets as far as their major cities were concerned. This other one comes from Chris Melessi from Coburg in Victoria, and I must read this out. It's a very long letter, but this one particular part, I'm really into Kiss myself, but I can't see myself going to the Kiss concert for the simple reason of the hysteria. I'm small and I'd get squashed. And she goes on, and she simply would like to say, because she can't go, I hope all the kids who go to the concert will take care, because we wouldn't want to see another Who tragedy. And I think it sums it up. What's your name? Because he's got all these Kiss badges on in the audience. Come here. What's your name? Come and sit over here. What's your name, mate? Eh?
Julian Hawks.
You a Kiss fan?
Yep.
And you hope to go to the concert, right?
Yep.
All right, see, this kid here, how old are you?
11.
And you're a bit small, aren't you? All right? And this sort of kid is going to go to the concerts, right? So what we ask, and Kiss ask, is a lot of restraint when you go and line out outside the venues to go and see a Kiss concert, because everyone wants to see it. The stage will make and enable everyone to see it, and we want this little guy to see it as much as all of the people who are around about 17 or 18. All right? Okay, do you like the Vapors turning Japanese?
Yeah.
Your second greatest group? No? Well, near enough, all right? Okay, they're on tour as well. Let's go over and have a look at the Vapors with Turning Japanese and their tour dates. And I hope you're going to see the Kiss concert.
I got your picture. I'd like a million of them around myself. I want the doctor to take a picture so I can look at you from inside as well. You got me turning up, I'm turning down, I'm turning in, I'm turning right, I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think.
All right, there you go. You saw the Vapor tour dates, and I mean, as I say, and it's very serious because I'll lean down as I get my AC/DC album. It is very serious because, like, the way the tickets are, there is unreserved seating, and it's going to take a lot of restraint, even though they've got all the great security around, and police will be on duty on all the points. It's up to you, and like as I say, the stage. Everyone will be able to see the concert as long as everyone doesn't rush to the gates and try to rush to the stages. All right? Okay. We had a letter in, and it complained about that we hadn't shown enough AC/DC. Now, the simple reason for that is that over the past year, we haven't had any film clips of AC/DC, but I've got some great news for AC/DC fans. Here is an album called Back in Black, right? And it's the new AC/DC album, and this week it was released, or last week it was released in England. It went to #1 first week in England. It went to number 39 first week in America. It is raging in Europe, and I tell you what, when you think of AC/DC, they are going to come back in February, and I have a feeling that it is going to be bigger than Kiss, because everyone that I talk to always asks, can you play a bit more AC/DC, all right? Okay, so there you go. AC/DC Back in Black will be released on August the 18th in Australia, and I tell you what, it could go to #1 and Can't Stop the Music and all the rest off the top of the charts. All right, over on centre stage, all the way from New Zealand. What are you pointing at, Kim? She looks lovely over there at the moment. Okay, you saw her on Countdown first with Love at First Night, which was a top 10 single still. And here she is with her new single, all the way from New Zealand, Miss Kim Hart with You're the One. And I love